Former President Trump's victory in the 2016 election surprised a lot of people because national polls showed Hillary Clinton leading the race heading into Election Day.
The Pew Research Center says polls before the 2020 election also overstated President Biden's strength among voters, and that led to many people not trusting political polling. So the question is, what about this year?
10 TV political reporter Doug Petcash talked to polling experts and voters about the perception of polling in the 2024 election, and he joins us now in studio. Doug?
Well, we'll know in a couple days, right, if
Yeah.
the polling this year was more on point than it was in 2016 and 2020. And pollsters and polling experts say polling is not an exact science. It takes the temperature of the country on big issues and big races at a particular point in time, a tool to understand the trends. CBS, CNN, other networks, newspapers, universities, and organizations put out polls focusing on the presidential race. Voters we talk to are paying attention.
I do trust polls, and I do use it for, looking at trends, looking at models.
I also look at it to see kind of like what the people around me might be thinking.
I watch them. I don't know how much I trust them. I feel like they're so up and down and everybody's doing their own.
I trust that they're doing their best to be accurate.
Tim Malloy is a polling analyst with the Quinnipiac University poll, which started in 1988.
Polls get assailed all the time, depending on which way they go. I get a lot of mean emails sometimes from one side of the fence, and then a week later when things change, the other side of the fence is sending me something else.
Malloy says Quinnipiac strives for accuracy by having a large sample size for national polls of at least 1,200 people. 150 callers do random digital dialing for 4 days to get a diverse demographic of survey takers. Plus, the polls build in a margin of error.
Margin of error gives you a little wiggle room on each side. It's honest. It could be 2 points this way, 2 points the other way.
Retired Ohio State University political science professor Herb Asher wrote the book Polling and the Public: What Every Citizen Should Know. He says, imagine one candidate wins a race 51% to 49%, but a poll had predicted the opposite by the same margin.
I'd still argue that poll that was wrong was still very close. But, we're so focused on election polling and is it right or wrong? So there's really a challenge here.
Malloy says polls give a snapshot in time, so results can change poll to poll. Take two recent Quinnipiac polls on the presidential race in Pennsylvania. On October 9th, former President Trump trailed Vice President Harris 46% to 49%. On October 30th, he led 47 to 46.
There were concerns, and I think there's truth in it, that a lot of people last time around did not admit or want to admit they were going to vote for Trump. I don't think that's going to happen now.
One voter boiled it down to the only count that really matters.
There is no right answer until the election is finished and everyone's voted.
Professor Asher says there are some very good, credible polling operations, but says beware of polls he calls political hatchet jobs done by campaigns and consultants. So consider the source. In the studio, Doug Petcash, 10 TV News.
All right, thank you, Doug.